What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? You already know what time it is. This is your boy, the historian, in the building tonight. We got a special one for you. Former Georgia Bulldog, national champion of the 1980 Dogs, Mr. Clarence K, is in the building with us tonight. So he's going to talk about his days with Georgia and also his days with the Broncos. But before we get to that, go ahead and hit that like and that subscribe button for us because we got a hot one for you tonight. So sit back, relax, and enjoy. And for my dog fans, go Dogs! Sick 'em! Let's go, baby.
Okay, y'all, this is it.
Hey, man, you already know what time it is. I'm pumped for this one. We got a dog in the building finally. A Georgia Bulldog legend, Mr. Tight End University himself. Brock Bowers, you got to take a seat. I know you're a two-time Mackey Award winner, two-time national champion, but there was a tight end that came before you who was a national champion, baby, and he started tight end you at University of Georgia. We got him. We got the man, the legend by the name of Clarence K in the building tonight. But before we bring Mr. K to the stage or whatnot, I got to bring my guy K Dub into the building. So we getting ready to get down with this one here, baby. Let's go. What's up, K?
What it do, Bird Cage. Listen to subscribe. Great to be in the building tonight. Like I said, if you missed last night's episode, go back and check that out. It was a great one. Glad to be in the building tonight with Mr. Historian and Mr. Clarence K, the Bulldog legend. Go Dogs forever and always, 365 days a week and a year. Hey, look, it's red and black all day. So it's good to be in the building, though. If you haven't heard, hit that like, share, subscribe button. Tell a friend the Bird Cage is in. Let's go. Let's get into it.
I got to do it one time, man. See, we've had Alabama in here. We've had Winston-Salem State in here. We've had North Carolina State, but we finally got the Georgia Bulldog into the bird cage. It's only right, baby. You know, just let's go, man. Dogs in here, baby. I'm hyped for this one, man. So it's some personal significance with this one because this living legend is my godfather. Literally, this is my godfather for real. So it's a blessing to be able to bring this legend into the building or whatnot. So without further ado, we're going to bring into the cage Mr. Clarence, Tight End University. K, what's going on? Welcome to the bird cage.
Yeah, Godson, you the real deal. I'm gonna tell you, you the real deal.
Hey man, I can't do this by myself, man. I got a hell of a crew that helped me get this thing done. So I appreciate that.
I'm telling you, your intro and everything before you went live, man, that's like professional television. That's like professional television. You the real deal.
Hey man, I apologize about that. We had a little echo in the back or whatnot, so apologize. So, welcome to the cage, man. Welcome to the cage.
What took you so
So,
long?
shoot, trying to find you. That's what
Man,
took
I
me
ain't that
so
hard.
long.
I ain't that hard to find. You could have called the Denver police and they told you where I was at. I just kidding.
Hey
Nah, but
man,
nah, bro. That introduction before we got on.
I froze up a little bit. It's all good. So while he's trying to get everything squared away, ladies and gentlemen, this gentleman that we brought to the table has played in 3 Super Bowls as well as a couple of national championships. So we got a few things that's going with Mr. K right now. So we're gonna try to get him situated with him being in the cage. So K Dub, man. So how does it feel to have a former dog into the cage, bro?
Oh man, it feels great, man. Like I said, I'm ready to hear some of these stories about back in the day. Like I say, I know about the dogs of today, but I want to hear about the dogs of yesterday. It's good to just, like I said, to fellowship with a former dog because they're often forgot about sometimes, and it's good to, like I say, also if it's a family member, that's even make it even more better. And I just feel like it's gonna be a great interview once he gets his camera and everything straightened out. Viewers, uh, what I'm saying? He's just in his element. You know what I'm saying? That's the best way to get it. So I'm just ready, man. I'm eager. I'm an eager beaver, ready to get into the interview and see what's next. Like I say, I'm a dog fan through and through, and let's go. I'm just let's get it, man. Hey, look, let's get a topic in here so we can go roll with it.
So we waiting on him to get back into the cage or whatnot. So with that being said, bro, I gotta go ahead. Falcon fans, y'all gotta forgive me for this. I gotta change the background for him or whatnot because he did not play for our Falcons. He played for a team that beat our Falcons in the Super Bowl, unfortunately, but he actually didn't play for those 98 Broncos. He actually played from 1984 to 1992. So we do have him coming back into the cage or whatnot. We're just trying to get him situated uh, with his like I said, with his camera right now. So I'm gonna change the background. So I'm gonna set the scene for you. You got Clarence K, who literally was one of the best tight ends in the country coming out of whatnot. He was all around athlete out of Seneca, South Carolina. Um, Literally was 8 miles away from Clemson from where he lived because Seneca's not that far from Clemson. So it was between there, Georgia, Notre Dame, and a few other schools that he had. I'm gonna let him tell the story, but I'm just gonna paint that picture for you while he's out. And the thing about Clarence was this: he's told Herschel Walker when they were on their recruiting trip, "I'm going wherever you go to school." And with him going with Herschel or whatnot, all you can do is just sit back and say, "Well, damn, you knew what was gonna happen." So with that situation, man, it's like, wow, you're one of the top players in the country, and you have that to happen. That's something serious right there, man. So what's your thought process about us stealing somebody that could have either went to South Carolina or Clemson, and he was a top tight end for us, as well as helping us win a national championship and leading us to helping us get to three national championships and just winning one. Unfortunately, we should have won 3, but just winning that one. And you look at the history of the Dogs, you can't say tight end you without this man.
Well, I appreciate him coming to the dogs and starting that, tight end you moniker for us because somebody has to lead the way. Somebody has to be the one that's first to step up and take the bull by the horns and go do it. So, I mean, I'll give big kudos to you, Mr. Clarence K. Thank you for coming back in just right in time. But man, just trying to give you your flowers while you're still here. But thank you for leading the way for tight end you at University of Georgia.
Man, my phone battery went dead. I'm gonna tell you the truth. My phone battery, my battery went dead. I ain't lying. Yeah,
Oh
are y'all
no.
still there?
Yeah, we're still here.
Yeah, my battery.
We're
I'm trying
right
to wait
here.
this thing. So I hope it don't shut back down though.
So
I'm
while we
charging.
got you in here, the question I got for you to start off with, let's go ahead and get to it. Now, we kind of painted the picture of you coming at, being a 3-sport athlete coming out of Seneca, South Carolina, and you going on recruiting trips, and you happen to be around with a young Herschel Walker, and you told him, "Hey, I'm gonna go to wherever school that you're going to." What was that experience like, Mr. K? I think we might have lost him, bro. He froze again. So, ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize about that. He's having some technical difficulties on his end, but we do have him in the building tonight. So, other than that, while we're waiting on Mr. K, let's talk a little bit about the Falcons right now. They are speaking of Bulldogs. They released Justin Schaefer today. What do you think is Terry Fontenot? I mean, pretty much with Justin Schaefer being released, do you think that we're actually going to build up the depth with the Falcons at one point, or what? Honestly, K-Dub.
I mean, I just feel like with this new coaching staff and new regime that they have in, they just see a different type of alignment that they want. I think they're going to make a lot of changes very swiftly, but this is a new regime. I see the way that Raheem plays, and they play it close to the vest, so they really won't tell you a lot, but you'll just start to see it. We have as a person and a team and a family like the Birdcage, like we didn't see that coming. So that's how close to the vest they are. We didn't see Justin Schaefer just getting released. I thought they would have kept him aboard, but see, what I'm saying, they moving. It's kind of shrewd, but hey, that's the way they move. Just the way this new regime moves. We're making moves. We didn't really see Kirk Cousins, but he here. You see what I'm saying? They're making moves and they make them. So at least they're making. At least they see what they want to see. They may want to see a more athletic line. I don't know what type of line they want to see, but they want to see a different type of line, and the guys that they're developing to be on that line. So I hate that he was a casualty. Because I hate to lose dogs because I believe give them a chance. But hey, I can't fault the organization for what the moves they're making, because I applaud this organization by having Raheem as the head coach, and I got to back him because I pounded my chest and stood on the hill for him.
I apologize, ladies and gentlemen. Mr. K is having some technical difficulties with his phone at this time, and we have some things going on with him trying to get him back situated. So what we're going to do is I'm getting ready to open up the chat for everybody, and I'm going to start letting folks come in, and we're going to talk while he's getting his stuff situated for right now until we get him back in here. But Mr. Clarence K is here. He's just trying to get some things squared away on his end, but I'm going to go ahead and put the link out here for everybody so you can come in while we're actually trying to get him situated and fixed. So again, we do apologize about the technical difficulties on Mr. K's end, but we're gonna get it right because we're not getting left tonight. So we got this thing right. So I do apologize again. He has been in the cage, as you saw, and he's got a lot of great stories to tell, not only from the Denver Bronco days. He's got a lot of great stories to tell about his Georgia Bulldog days as well. So I'm going to go ahead and pin the link in there so you guys can come in and you can talk about last night with us or whatnot, and we can go over what Mr. Weiss talked about last night with us about the Falcons, and he confirmed which direction we were going to go into when it comes to this draft. So I've already pinned the link out there for everyone to come in if you like to come in. If you don't, it's cool, but we still going to talk a little Falcon football while we're waiting on Clarence K to get back into the cage. So the next thing I got to ask you is this, K-Dub. How do you feel with the direction that we're going to go in? Because Steve Weiss actually talked about it yesterday when he said we were going to go quarterback or edge. Now, it's no more speculation because he actually let the cat out of the bag when it came to that. So with him letting that cat out of the bag or whatnot, how do you feel that this is going to change?
What they may think about doing, but when that draft actually happens, I just feel like his intel can change because it's all about how that draft falls. I'm just gonna sit there and say that because now I'm hearing that teams may want to trade up over us up until the 3 spot. So we may not have the options available like we thought we did have it in the beginning, because teams above us are willing to wheel and deal. When I thought they would stick hold to their picks and make their picks, they're trading back. They're thinking the same thing we're thinking and trading back. So that scenario may not play out great for us, but it could still be. because that's why I was trying to allude to the question last night, but he kept tap dancing away from it about the tampering thing. So uh, I don't really know how many picks we're going to lose, but that's why I wanted us to trade back because that's what I felt like we needed to do to gather more picks, and I'm a stern believer of that. But we'll see what happens. Do we take an edge? I'm a stickler for sticking my foot in the ground for certain people, and I just feel like we should take Latu. I don't think he really talked about Latu because of neck injury. But if that neck injury checked out with all 32 doctors at the combine, I think I'll take that vote of confidence. I mean, that's the guy that I like, and I'm gonna beat my chest for if we're gonna take somebody at 8, which is an edge. I mean, he really jumped off the screen to me when I seen him play. He popped. So even though he's out of UCLA or whatever, that's the guy that I see. I would like to go in the SEC, but I have strong concerns, just like you said, historian, about he was a product of being next to Will Anderson, and I'm just not a big, huge fan of Jared Verse. I mean, I'm not saying he's not a good player. He could turn out to be a damn all-pro, but I'm just not a huge fan of. I'm not saying he's not a great player. Just if I had, it's depending on what kind of ice cream you like. Do you like butter pecan or do you like strawberry? So I like Latu. So that's just if we're going to take someone at 8.
So with us taking that, like I said, I like Verse, but we've all talked about different things. And, we mentioned cornerbacks last night with Steve Weish and also the quarterback situation and whatnot. And there's so many opportunities and so many things that are available in this draft. And when you look at it, the gentleman that we have, like I said, he's still trying to figure out his phone right now, trying to get some things straight with Mr. K. But while we have Clarence K figuring out his phone right now, we have an open platform right now. So you guys can come in and talk to us about anything that's going on with the Falcons at this point while Mr. K is actually situating his phone and everything. It doesn't surprise me. I figured you was going to come in here. What's up, Will?
What's going on, fellas? What's going on?
Mr. FMLA himself.
What's up, man?
So we're waiting on Clarence K to get back in here. Our special guest for tonight. He's got some things going on right now with his phone. With the interview that we had last night with Mr. Steve Weish and whatnot, and he pretty much gave you an answer of which direction we're going. How do you feel about this draft that's coming up? And now that he's giving you the answers to that, which players do you think are going to probably come to Atlanta?
Well, the players I'm really looking at. I'm looking at Jerry Verse and dude out of cornerback. What's that school it is? I'm trying to think. Mitchell. I don't know what school he went to. I think it's a D2 school, college, Toledo or something like that. But I think Minnesota gonna trade up with us, man. I believe we're gonna trade down a couple spots, like the 12th pick and get the 26th pick. So that means we're gonna lose our second round pick. For the 43rd pick, but I like Jared Verse, man, because the dude got the technique and he got the muscle weight and everything like that. Only thing he need to work on is just staying healthy. That's part about it. But if I'm the Falcons, I'm getting Jared Verse. That's just me, my honest opinion.
I mean, that makes sense for you to say with Jared Verse because we've all talked about it. And our guy Millie Mills talked about this last night where he said Penix ran a 4.5 today. Coming in, everybody's like, oh, he ran a 4.5. Here's my thing. I don't care about a guy running. I need somebody who's going to deliver the ball. Exactly. I need somebody who's going to win. Now, Penix can deliver the ball. There's no problem. We all see that. But right now, we got to get somebody to help, and we got to get somebody to sit behind Kirk. That's the whole thing. You got to address your edge, and you also have to address your linebacker back and core, and you also have to start looking at replacements for those players that we talked about. And even Steve Weish commented on that last night where he was saying you got to start looking at the future, as we said. The future is now. Exactly. So, and K-Dub, like I said, he spoke on Penix really heavy and talked about him. The question is this. Now, with Penix running the way that he did today, and then you had Malik Neighbors to run today, and it was just like looking like, wow, all these guys are really doing some things today, and they're showing out in their pro days. but they have highlight reels and they have film to show what they can put on the field. With the system that we run here in Atlanta, the athletic quarterback can survive in it, but it's mainly built for a quarterback that is not going to run. He's going to get the ball to his playmakers. If you pay attention to that, because Stafford thrived in it, Jared Goff thrived in it, and these guys, they'll get out of Dodge if they have to, but they're not running quarterbacks. And this system is tailor-made for guys that are going to have quick deliveries. What do you think? When you look at the deliveries and you look at the weapons that we have, what do you think is going to help a young quarterback that's going to come in here outside of game reps? What do you think Kirk Cousins is going to provide for the young man that's going to be here? Because apparently Steve Weiss even said that was the best quarterback that we took out of free agency compared to everything else. So I'm going to let you guys chop it up. I'm going to let William have it first, and then K-Dub is going to jump in with that. So give me 1 second. I'm going to step out, and I got to help Mr. K. All
right. I'm gonna say leadership, man. Kirk Cousins provided leadership that we was missing for years since we had Matt Ryan, man. I think the dude is a true leader. Once we get close, close to summertime, he gonna try to fit with scheme with like dudes like going across the middle or go to hits route, comeback routes. We got the weapons and the running game. We can't miss the running game. We got to be more balanced and passing, making team being honest, defense making being honest on us. So we got to stick with our bread and butter. But if I'm them, I'm getting Tyler just opportunities too instead of using Bijan Robinson. I know Bijan Robinson good catching the ball at the backfield, but we need to use Tyler Algier when we get in them like at least like I say like in them field goal positions. We got to use Tyler Algier because he your hammer. So I feel like these players we scale makers we got. I don't even think we're going to draft some wide receivers. To be honest with you, we need to go ahead and sow this defense in. Get this linebackers. Well, I don't say we need one linebacker really. Like I say, 4th round, but we need a safety though. We ain't saying nothing about safety, but we have to get another DB with Jesse Bates third, probably 3rd round. But that's my take.
My take on it is, man. Like I said, we got a lot of holes and needs. Like I said, Penix is there. Don't poo-poo the guy's speed. He's not a guy. If you look at his career, he's not really a guy to be running around anyway. Penix is a deliverer of the football. That just made it even more make him even more intriguing to know that he ran a 4.5. People didn't think he ran a 4.5. That's why Millie Mills put it up there. Don't poo-poo my guy. I've been on that train. I like Penix, and he got the quickest delivery out there. So if he's on the board and you got a chance to take him, don't look back.
Well, Penix can kick rocks right now because we're getting ready to get Mr. Clarence K back into the building or whatnot. We're gonna let Mr. Penix stay his monkey ass over there on the West Coast right now, and we got to bring the dog back in here. I'm just waiting on him to step back into the studio. He had some things that was going on or whatnot with his phone. So thank you for coming in, William.
All right, man. Y'all salute, man. I'll be in the back.
Yes, sir. So we're still waiting on him, K-Dub. He's getting ready to come in now.
All right, let's go.
Let's wait till it's waiting for his picture to pop up now. So once we get him in, we'll be good to go because he's in backstage. 1 sec.
Okay,
yes, sir.
I'm back.
We got you back.
Man, okay, now we got to have some fun with this. Man, I ain't lying. I wasn't paying attention to my battery charge, and it went dead. So it just went dead. And right there, I started panicking. I did.
Don't panic. Look, here's the thing, man. You can't panic. You panic, you die. That's what they taught me in the military. And at the end of the day, you understand from being on the football field. Just think about it. You guys back in 1986 when y'all played the Cleveland Browns. I'm sorry, Coach Blaylock. I'm talking about the Browns and the drive, and I know you're going to be a little disappointed about this, but, you guys were down in that game, and John Elway led y'all down the field to pretty much tie the game going to overtime and win that ball game to get to the Super Bowl that first year in 86. So you're used to adjusting.
It was 86, 87 season.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I remember the drive. Mark Jackson caught the time.
I was a few days old. Remember, I was a few days old after that.
Yeah, and you don't remember that because you was too young.
Exactly.
I got to ask you something. Is your friend last name Blaylock?
Anthony Blaylock. He wore number 24.
When I went to Georgia with a guy that ran track, at Georgia at the time named Blaylock. Is that any connection there, Blaylock?
No, Anthony
Oh man, my
Blaylock is
phone
from
keeps
North
going
Carolina.
dead.
He went to
Jesus.
Winston-Salem State.
Yeah, my phone is gonna go down and get shut down. Okay.
Oh man, we're having some issues with the dog legend in the building today. So I do apologize about that. But I'm gonna open the platform back up until he comes back in. So if you do have the link that you see, just come on in because we're waiting on him to get situated. So we're gonna try to open this thing back up. We'll talk a little bit more Falcons football until he comes back. So I'm gonna switch this back to our Falcon background.
Yeah, we going with the flow, baby. We're going with the flow. We just going with the flow.
But it's all good.
Going with the flow, baby. This is hey, look, off the cuff. Let's go back in here, Will.
What's going on?
Yeah, man. But yeah, like I was saying, man, the poo-poo pennies. Don't poo-poo pennies, man. Hey.
If I'm us, man, I feel like we could just go in the late rounds and get us a quarterback. We don't really necessarily need to get a quarterback, but we definitely get an edge rush.
But I understand that we just don't want to go get a quarterback. If you can get a guy that's more polished that he can learn from Kirk. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying take him at 8. I'm not really saying take him at 8. I really was saying take him in the second round or something like that. At 8. I was saying trade back or take, like I said, your edge rusher or your cornerback. So
I truly think Minnesota gonna trade us because I don't see the Commanders of New England trading down or trade these picks up aspect to give it to Minnesota. So Minnesota will have to trade up with us.
Well, I mean, I heard people they say that who's in the number 3 spot because they say 3 spot is up for grabs.
New England.
Yeah, so New England is willing to trade back, so they're kind of messing up our haul. So
I hope they get Jaden Daniels out of LSU, or to get May out of North Carolina.
I mean, yeah, if we pull a Jaden Daniels at 8, yes, because he's special. I mean, he's Heisman Trophy winner. I mean, I feel like he got that it factor. Only thing that scares me is his size, but I've seen him take a lot of SEC hits. I mean, he keep on ticking, but I mean, his size that's the only thing that's scary me. But I have seen him take a beat and he keep on ticking though. So I'm not like that about him.
I was right to cut y'all out. I ain't taking a topic. How y'all feel about this hip band tackle, man? It's a bit I'm kind of upset with that, man.
Upset with what?
The hip band tackle.
I mean, like I said, they're going to continue to keep making the league more about the offense. Thank God we got a quarterback, so we can take advantage of that also. The defense, I mean, if you're a defender, and I was a defender, I mean, it's just another thing that you can't do. It would just be more penalties thrown, but people will still be hitting that way. It would just be more penalties thrown for the offense. So, I mean, those guys are used to taking those hits. They're still going to try to eradicate it out the game, but I just feel like the more penalties will be thrown and the penalties will be up because that's just something else you just can't do on the football field.
So the toughest thing at this point, like we were saying, like I said, we're Clarence K still working on his phone right now, trying to get some things straight, and let's see if he comes back in because seems like my guy Mike said, that phone is fumbling like Ernest Biner did back in 87, 87, 88. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Ernest Biner, Millersville, Georgia boy. But you helped my goddaddy and them boys go to the Super Bowl with your fumble. So I gotta go ahead and bring Mr. K back in here. Gray Beard, I'm gonna put you back in the back of the studio, my guy. So how much so are you back?
Yeah, I got 1% charge. I mean, 1%. That ain't a lot.
No, it's not. I was gonna say your phone been fumbling like Ernest Biner back in the day, like we were talking.
Man, you got a weird sense of humor comparing my battery to Ernest Biner, but Yeah, yeah, yeah. It, man, this is the weirdest thing that could happen to me right now, being live on your podcast. And then honestly, that my phone battery, I normally have it charging up when when I'm not using it, but I didn't today. It's go dead again.
So before it goes dead again, I got a question for you. So when you were at
Yeah.
Georgia with the national championship team, they said it was a pig that was stolen. Can you tell us a little bit about what happened with that pig that year that was stolen with Frank Ross and those boys? He froze again. It's all good, man. We all gonna make this. We all gonna make this work, man. One way or another, we gonna make this thing work tonight. So even if you know what, I'm gonna stop. What I'm gonna stop doing, I'm gonna stop calling this an open platform. Fans can come in here if they want, but what's gonna happen is we'll let you come in. If you're in, you get to chill with us and Clarence K tonight. That's how we gonna do it. Off the cuff,
Yeah,
right?
off the cuff, man.
Gotta adjust on the fly, baby. But we got Graybeard in the building right now. What's
Great
going on,
beard,
man?
great beard TV. I like that. I
What's going on? I
like.
was enjoying my delectable meal, but duty called. What's going on, family? How everybody doing?
How you
Hey,
doing? How you
man,
doing? How you doing, man?
we missed you, so we decided to have you to come in.
Right, right, right,
We
right.
got the OGs in the building tonight, man.
Yeah,
The three amigos, dog.
yeah. What's going on? But man, I'm really hoping he come back in, man, because I really want to hear the story back in the '80s.
Yeah,
Because they won their national title before I was even born.
yeah.
They won in the '80s. I ain't get here till '81. So I really want to see what type of story he had. How was the team back then? How was Coach Dooley back then? What was his coaching style? All that good stuff. So I'm really interested and excited to hear what he has to say on his college days and how was Big Unc, other known as Club Shay Shay, as a young rookie coming through the trenches at Denver. So I'm really excited on what he has to offer.
Yeah, and that's the thing. And I'm a little I'm not, like I said, we all got busy lives and everything, and it's all good, Sometimes we forget to charge our phones. Today, he just forgot to charge his, I guess. Sucks, but hey, you know what? It's all good because at the end of the day, we still up in here in the cage, baby, and we still gonna show some love to a Georgia Bulldog legend, even if we don't get it the way we want to. It's called adapt and overcome.
I got
We all learned that when we were in the service.
Yeah, I got a question.
What's up?
I meant to ask Steve last night. So we we got a game this season we're gonna be playing in Brazil, which is the first time in NFL history. And then we also are more than likely gonna play 18 games, which is crazy considering where we started. So I got a two-part question. The question is, do you see a playing in any other international country in the near future, occur, such as like Australia or Paris
Yeah.
or France?
Yeah, we're
Or
gonna be in Germany because think about it.
yeah,
The
yeah, we
Falcons and
already
Germany
played in
struck up
Germany.
a partnership.
Well, I understand Germany because if anybody remembers NFL Europe, primarily we played in Germany. If you think about the Rain and Fire, the Barcelona Dragons, and all those players. So yeah, Germany pretty much known us for a while. I'm just thinking about other countries like Spain, other countries like freaking maybe Morocco or freaking
Hmm.
stuff like that. India, perhaps. You know what I mean? So we got to
I
look at
don't
it
know if
because
they're gonna go to India,
yeah, that's
man.
what I'm saying because like soccer is always going to be an international sport. Period.
Exactly.
Point blank. It's probably the most international sport in the world. Other the other two sports that I think that be pretty much might be a little bit on par with soccer is basketball. That's pretty
Well, well,
basketball.
I mean, you look at it like this, bro. When you look at everything that's gone down with with the NFL, the way that they're trying to network the game, and the way they've already dropped the hip tackle. You already
Yeah,
dropped that. So guess what? Pretty soon, NFL is getting ready to be just straight flag football anyway. So
my
you're
word.
getting ready to have an Olympic sport I don't know if you guys saw this. Dr. Melvin Pender, Uncle Mel, who's come through the show for us before, they're going to be coming through again with some Olympians. We're setting something up with some former Olympian sprinters or whatnot before the summer games happen, so we can talk to those guys. But he even spoke on it. They're going to have a flag football that they're going to try to make an Olympic sport. So they're really trying to take American football and make it worldwide, even though it's not tackle.
Yeah, but I think what people are gonna get misconstrued because soccer is a little easier to pick up. If you're thinking about how we play football, there's a lot of nuance and a lot of stuff that you got to learn, especially if you're playing certain position. If you're playing quarterback,
Mm-hmm.
you 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 got to know pretty much everything. And then if you're talking about the offensive line, that center position pretty much got to be quarterback number two. And if you think about the defense, you're thinking about the middle linebacker. That's quarterback number three.
Hmm.
And then you think about your
Well,
defensive back and free safety especially. Quarterback number four. So there's just a lot of nuance and stuff that they have to incorporate. Otherwise, soccer, even though soccer is not easy, so I'm not gonna sit up and say soccer is just like anybody can pick it up. So no, you gotta have some skills to play soccer and the stamina and endurance. I just think it's gonna be challenging, especially for other nations to try to mimic our style of football.
yeah.
Yeah,
K
especially
Dub.
especially like to piggyback off what Graybeard was saying is that especially with the years and the decades that we've been playing the sport and other countries haven't. Like it's not as easy to pick up because you can avidly you can kind of like feverishly watch the game a little bit and kind of like, but you can, it's hard to really understand unless you've been really ingrained in you and we've watched it for a while. You know what I'm saying? But I'm not saying they can't grow the game internationally because they have had NFL Europe, they have had the World League, and all this stuff back in the past. I just feel like I don't feel like they tried hard enough. I think they've tried, but did they try hard enough to where it's like attached to the NFL could be like a D League, but the D League is across overseas. And if you want to get back to the United States, you got to play your tail off to get back. So
Uh,
I mean,
I know, sorry to cut you off, Kato. Do y'all remember that commercial back in the day with Emmitt Smith, where he was pretty much trying to promote to try to get the Olympics to go out there and incorporate freaking U.S. football?
We
yeah, I think I
definitely, I
remember.
actually remember that too.
Yeah, I think, but it got shut down. They voted against it.
Yeah, they said there's no way because it's just too much preparation, and then trying to incorporate the rules and let other nations try to get their input with it. Man, it'd be forever, man.
I mean,
Shout
because
out to the Dixon Way Raid, y'all. We
Oh
we I know
yeah,
we talking about that, but we got to give them a shout out, man. These folks are
I,
liking and subscribing. Definitely appreciate. Shout out to Larry Dixon, our guy that's holding it down, calling the Atlanta Hawks game tonight. So
yeah,
we
them
definitely
Hawks.
will be checking those guys out a little later on after the show. We're still waiting on Clarence K. But even if we don't get Clarence K back in the building, we still gonna have a damn good time talking about these birds. So looking at what Steve Weiss was talking about last night, and he spoke on a lot of the things that went down during the Michael Vick time. You know, talked about Greg Knapp trying to help him, and everybody knew that Dan Reeves, Clarence K, who was on the show recently or whatnot, or we're still waiting on him. Clarence K played for Dan Reeves in Denver for 8 years of his career, from '84 to '92. And when he played out there, he really looked out for him while he played for him. It was just some stories that I got to talk to Mr. K with, and like I said, it just sucks that his phone is going down because some of the stories I really want him to put out here for everybody. But he spoke on being out there and understanding it was about 7 tight ends that was drafted when he was there. He was drafted in '84, and they were bringing guys in as undrafted free agents and this here. But that's generally how NFL camps are run. They bring in more than enough, and they take whoever is the best out of that group. Now, he had one rough day of practice, and no coaches normally pull guys into their office. And he spoke on Dan Reeves bringing him into his office and saying, "Hey, you need to show me something or you won't be here tomorrow." No coach does that during spring, pretty much during OTAs and things like that. They're not telling guys that.
no, that's
Dan
training camp.
Reeves really had a special place for Mr. K and with that system. He really loved the fact that he was a physical blocker, good hands, good speed, for that tight end position. And if you look at it, we had a different encounter with Terrence Mathis when Terrence Mathis spoke on Dan Reeves about his time when he was in Atlanta. He was always, like you said, he was always trying to get rid of him. But you get to really see that sometimes it's coach judgment. Coaches control the narrative with a lot of things with these ball clubs now. Even back then, they were controlling that narrative. Even though the general manager's in charge, the narrative is just is sad sometimes because you have some of the best talent that just doesn't mesh with that personality either on the sideline or in that front office.
Oh
And
yeah.
that's something that sucks when you talk about when you talk about how the system is run now. How do you guys feel with Arthur Smith being in Pittsburgh and after what we've heard, and even Steve Weiss confirmed that last night that he didn't want Justin Fields after he had a meeting with him? How do you guys feel about that? Because I'll say this. I think that was as close to Jerry Glanville and Brett Favre as anything when you talk about a situation.
I mean, I already know Mike Tomlin probably got this man down before he was even doing the interview process. He said, "I already knew on the guideline. You got to be willing to coach anybody. That's number one. Whoever we bring in on the center, you got to be willing to coach him and put him in the best position for us to win football game because." People don't understand the heat been turned up on Mike Tomlin a little bit as well too. Even though this man had never had a losing season, they're trying to still make it back to the post to make a deep run in the postseason. You look at what Baltimore has done. Baltimore has been in the AFC Championship game twice. When the last time Pittsburgh been in there? So I mean that for me, Arthur Smith, he gonna have to either adjust or be gone. He's gonna have a very short assistant coach freaking career if he doesn't change the way. But I always thought there was a narrative or something about Justin Fields he didn't like,
Hmm.
and for me, I just think it was just trying to develop him because anybody else, like Kyle Shanahan, probably would have took this man under his wing because he's such a dynamic player. He can throw the football, he can run. Only thing about it is he just got to make more sharper decisions, which to be effective because he's a rookie. But I just think
Well,
overall he just was not coached,
well, you got to remember Kyle Shanahan didn't take him; he took Trey Lance instead.
and traded
Yeah, no,
him.
he didn't trade him. It was
uh,
John Lynch who traded him. It
and
wasn't
that's
Shanahan because
yeah,
Shanahan wanted Trey Lance.
yeah. But at the same time, look what they gave up just to get somebody, just to trade within 3 years.
But luckily, they had Brock Purdy in the chamber.
But
That that
that
that
was a gift
happened to
from
be
God.
one of the luckiest things because the
That was
49ers would have been in a debacle if Brock Purdy wasn't there.
John Lynch probably would have been out as GM, point blank.
Uh-oh.
But that's what.
The
Okay,
crooked preacher has stepped into the pulpit. John
Man,
Harris.
what's going on, John? Good to have you in the building. But
Mr.
yeah,
Harris, what's going on, good sir?
but but what I'm thinking is, what Steve Weiss was pointing at is just, like I said, he had a misjudgment of character. So God has a way of playing it to where you still got to develop this guy. You know what I'm saying? But the true offensive coordinator, if you call yourself that, is supposed to show. And like I said, I feel like he's never really developed anybody. You know,
That's pretty evident.
Tannehill basically came to him. He's already been in the league in Miami for a few seasons anyway. So
Agreed.
who has you really developed? You didn't do anything for Desmond Ritter. I mean, what have you did it for any quarterback? So it's gonna really show. You can develop a little bit of a running game. I think that's proof in the pudding that you can put the running games together. But other than that, I really don't see, the benefit of even him having a job. I think Mike Tomlin trying to self sabotage himself or something. I don't know what's going on there.
I think part of the reason why he has a job is because they're gonna go back to what he did with Ryan Tannehill. He got Ryan Tannehill paid. And the reason why Ryan Tannehill really got paid because you had arguably the best running back in the league at that time in Derrick Henry. All you had to do was feed him the football. So if they look at what they got right now with the Najee Harris and the other cat that they got, who's pretty good too, they pretty much want to try to emulate that same process, but at the same time you got deep ball threats as well. So with Arthur Smith, he got an easy situation. He just can't mess it up.
Well, let's see if John Harris's sound is working right now.
Testing. 1287.
We hear you loud. We hear you loud and clear.
Okay, I can hear you guys. I'm coming off the trip, and I'm in Mississippi. They just got the internet last week, so I don't know if they know what it is. So, my phone was working fine in Texas and Louisiana, but in Mississippi, when you start talking about bars, they always thinking about drinking. At any rate,
we apologize about not having our guest. Our guest was having some technical difficulties tonight. We apologize about that to everybody that's on the show that's tuning in to us. We're going to try to work on something and probably do a makeup show with Mr. Clarence K because, again, he has some technical difficulties out of our control, but we definitely will have him back. But now it's open platform for everybody to come in here and chop it up with us for at least about another 15, 20 minutes or whatnot. You can talk about what you saw last night with Steve Weiss. You can talk about your concerns with the team right now, or you can talk about what you're looking forward to, or you can just come in and say what's happening to us or whatnot. Doesn't matter. It's wide open. So, John, the floor is yours, sir. And I say that hesitantly.
he know not what he asks for.
And that's why I said hesitantly.
Very.
I'm looking at how fate makes strange bedfellows.
Mm-hmm.
True.
Arthur Smith. I came to find out a couple of days ago that Arthur Smith actually hated Justin Fields after a meeting that they had and didn't want Russell Wilson if he had stayed here. But guess what? You get two licks in one going to Pittsburgh. You get them both. Now, I'm a Falcons fan, but you better bet your last money I'm going to be watching to see what the heck happens up there in Pittsburgh, because that is going to be very, very interesting to see the interaction and how Tomlin rides herd on this situation. Because from what I understand, there was a meeting that Arthur Smith had with Fields prior to the draft, because there was always a question as to whose fault it was, as to whose responsibility it was that we picked the tight end at number 4. But the latest thing that I've gotten is that Arthur Smith didn't want Fields. And the word hated came out. The word hated.
You heard Steve Walsh. Oh, wait a minute. If you saw the show last night, Steve Weiss confirmed that. Steve Weiss confirmed that on the Birdcage last night. So all the speculation is out the door. All the speculation is out the door. I called it. I said it draft night. I said it draft night when the Birdcage, when we had our draft, I said that's an Arthur Smith pick, and I said he did not want Justin Fields. Yeah, that was confirmed.
He didn't want any quarterback but
Trevor Lawrence.
He didn't want
nobody but Trevor Lawrence. That was all he wanted.
And he wasn't going to get Trevor Lawrence. So you already know he wasn't going to get a quarterback.
And just think about it, John. You had a chance to bring him in. The other thing
is that he wanted a ready-made quarterback. Somebody that was already just ready to go, where he didn't have to do anything with it.
Because he can't develop quarterbacks.
This situation here, where he didn't do anything with the quarterback that he drafted. I mean, I'm just flabbergasted as to how these people get jobs. I really.
Nepotism, John.
I'm just saying, man. I said, good grief, man. the bad part about it is that you being drafted, you're in the hands of a potential monster. Your future is just at the mercy of the four winds, I guess you could say, because somebody, just like you guys were talking about, Glanville and Glanville and Favre. Now, if you remember, it was a three-headed monster up there in Flowery Branch. You had Taylor Smith, Ken Harrod, and Glanville. Now they had to all now Ken Harrod and Taylor Smith had to sign off on it when they finally got rid of Favre. See, but when they had the interviews, everybody's like, they getting the doggone Richard Nixon. I am not a crook. I didn't do that. I'm not responsible for. Yeah. Everybody backpedaling now, but you did it. You did it. It's history. You did it. We move on. But the atmosphere now, and the shock and surprise that I had when they said that they were going to get, because Ritter left here real quickly, real sudden, because the way that everybody was talking, if you remember, gentlemen, was that Ritter possibly might have started this year. To everyone's chagrin, to everyone, oh God, no. But hey, and I was just surprised they got anything for him. This was one of the worst used cars we ever had on the lot.
I can't put
Well, I mean, look at it like this. We on the birdcage. We actually were happy when Ritter got drafted because we knew what he was going to do we knew what he did in college. I'm one of the ones who and I have no problem with standing right here and saying I supported him. We saw flashes of it, but the problem is this: when you don't have quarterback coaches on your staff, period, and you're not teaching the young. Here's the thing: some things Ritter should have had already because of your college days and your high school days. Now, it's some things that NFL coaches can provide, but all his fundamentals and mechanics and things like that should have already been ironed out before he got to the NFL. Because at this point, it's learning how to get in rhythm with the speed of the game. It's mainly learning that playbook. It's about garnering relationships with the team. It's pretty much you are learning how to be. You're pretty much going to be a leader on the fly. That's really what he was going to be. But he got the set. Mariota turned into a crybaby at the end and pouted with his piss poor play. But again, when you have a stubborn mule like Arthur Smith, you see what happened. Mediocrity. You're stubborn in the wrong ways. And that's what got you up out of here. That's what got you on that midnight. Instead of the midnight train coming to Georgia, it was the midnight train leaving Georgia. Shout out to Gladys Knight and the Phillips, by the way.
I just think Arthur Smith just approached the situation wrong. Even if you weren't going to go for a quarterback, cool. But I still would have drafted one later. I still would have had something prepared for the league. And I would have been like, look, even though Matt is on his last leg, I still need to hold on to Matt for maybe 1 or 2 more years so I can try to get Ritter up to speed. Because even though Mariota tried to be that mentor, even though he crashed out towards the end, it would have did Ritter so much more justice if he would have sat behind Matt Ryan for at least 1 year. At least 1 year. Instead of just being thrown into the fire, into the wolves, the way he did. I mean, don't get it twisted now. He tried to step up and he tried to do his thing, and I gave him respect for that. But he would just go and prepare. It was like it's like being an intern.
We got him back.
We got him back.
Man, I had to come back. I had to.
Yes, sir.
Well, we appreciate it. So, John Harris, this is my godfather, Clarence K, who I've talked about. So you can say hello before you get out.
All right.
How are you, sir?
I'm doing okay, man, for 62 years of age.
Oh man, I got you by 2.
Well, damn, you probably feel worse than me then.
Uh, yeah, I do. I mean, man, there's more things falling off than staying on at this age.
Man, and the only way that I know that what you just said, man, is that playing football like we played in sports. 62, man, you can't, man. It's mind shocking at 62.
And it is a blessing for you to still be around and still kicking, because I see you're in a vehicle with one of these on. I got mine turned to the back, because you know how we did it. You know how we did it back in the day. We turned around just like this here. And man, hey, it's a blessing for you guys who really played the physical game back then. See, man, you could have played to 62 if the rules were back then like they are now. The
Yeah, I might have it.
Man, I tell you, I just tell you.
So,
but I actually loved it more than I displayed, openly, in public. I love football so much, man, that it made me happy even when I was sleeping. Honestly, I was happy knowing I was gonna get up and go play the game that I love.
and so John, we got to bid you adieu, my guy. Just wanted you was in here. Thank you for coming in and chopping it up with us while we're waiting on Mr. K to get back, because we're getting ready to talk about some days, his Georgia Bulldog days, before we get to his Bronco days. He got some stories about Uncle Shay. So stay tuned.
Well, I'll be staying tuned. And gentlemen, you guys have a good show, Mr. K. It was an immense and rare pleasure, sir, to meet you.
I feel the same way, my brother.
Thank you.
That's how I got. So that's how I got John. He comes in. He hosts another podcast. I call him the Crooked Preacher, because the Joker sound like a preacher and he got conviction, but that Joker is crooked as a left shoe on a politician.
I know some people just like that too.
He good people though. He real good people, man. That's a good brother. But so just to talk to you, we got back and we were in a spot where we were asking about the days when you were stepping on campus or whatnot. There was a pig that was stolen before on your national championship season, your freshman year.
Yeah.
Can you talk about that?
Yeah. It was kind of weird at the moment being a freshman, and because it was everybody that's on the team knew that it was an initiation party. You see what I'm saying? That pig, the night the pig was stolen, we didn't know nothing about it, but it was an initiation party for the freshmen, which at the time I was a freshman, and we went out to there was a catering service called Pulse or Ross Catering Company in Athens, Georgia. They sponsored it and let them grill barbecue the pig on their property. It's a famous restaurant. I don't know if it's still in Athens or not. I didn't really know these people, but they had money. You follow what I'm saying? Are you there? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear
Yeah,
you.
we can hear you. We just can't see you. So go ahead and hit your mute, but unmute your microphone because you just muted it.
Can you hear me now, though? You see me?
Yeah, we can hear you perfectly. So go ahead.
Now, Frank Ross, Ned Hudson, it's Kirk, what's his name? Kirk Warner and
You mean Scott Warner, your old teammate?
No, they was all seniors my freshman year.
Yeah, Scott Warner, the famous punt returner, who we got his nephew Charlie Warner just now for the Falcons.
Luckiest white boy I ever seen play football. Scott Warner was. I ain't lying, man. He would do the most amazing things when you least expected him to. Follow me? He would come up with a punt return or interception when you least expected him to. But anyway, the pig story, man. Those guys initiated stealing the pig, for the initiation for the freshmen, my class. Mm-hmm. And we was out there barbecuing the pig. I remember, man, I ain't never seen a pig roasted in an open pit, a hole dug in the ground, fire, and they turned it. Let me tell you, it was a full pig, still with the eyeballs and everything, in it. It takes about 10 hours for you to roast a pig. If it weighs more than 15 pounds, I mean, feed everything. Man, we was out there all night, and for daylight, man, they took the pig off, and we was eating it. I mean, we was drunk by then because they had kegs from it was Frank Sinkwich. He owned the distributorship. I don't know if you remember that name, Frank Sinkwich. He won the Heisman in '42.
Yeah, your first Heisman Trophy winner at Georgia.
Yeah, and he had a beer distributorship in Athens, Georgia, because I worked for him my freshman year during the off season. He donated all the beer. I mean, more than we needed. We got drunk. We eating the pig, man, and all of a sudden,
we can't see you. We're trying to see your face. All we see is your
head. But all of a sudden, man, as freshmen, they left us there to finish the pig, cooking it, and came back to cut it up. We didn't know that they had stole the pig from the veterinarian school right across the street from the dormitory in Athens. The veterinarian school was right across the street from the athletic dorm. That's where they stole the pig from.
And you said it was about, and how so when they stole the pig, now the story goes they said Nat Hudson was the barbecue pit master. He orchestrated literally roasting that pig, and they said he did it over a steel chain link fence. Y'all said he put the pig on.
Yeah, over a hole dug in the ground with charcoals in it. It was a hole dug underground with a fence over it, and the pig was. You're right. It was a hole in the ground. I ain't never barbecued like that, but it works, But the thing about it, man. But the thing about it, to be honest with you, man, is that, and I'm gonna tell you what happened when the people in charge found out that they had stolen a pig without, going through them at the veterinary school. Mm-hmm. That's where the problem started. Follow me? Because the pig was a sacrifice, donation, pig. They stole it from the veterinary school. That's when that's when Nat and Tim Morrison and Jim Harper and Scott, one of them got in trouble when they got to veterinary school, got pissed off and called Piss Dooley. The pig don't mean Ed. We don't roast it in Ed and everything. We waiting for it. We getting ready to go to school. That's when they almost got kicked out of school. I swear to God, they did. And I mean, I wouldn't. I mean, the story is so real, man, because that was a special summer at Georgia. I mean, even Eric Russell. Y'all remember Eric Russell?
Legendary defensive coach. Yes, sir.
I don't mean to be long-winded, but I'm telling you the truth about being a freshman and being I didn't know what was going to happen at Georgia as a freshman. But Eric Russell came in one day and we was working on, getting ready. He said, and Eric said, I could tell that there was something special about this. He said there was something special. He said he felt it. Eric said he felt that there was something special about the season was coming, and he wasn't lying. That's when we went 12-0 and won the national championship. There was something special about it.
And I remember during that national championship run, and you speak on that. We hate the Florida Gators up in this camp. Yeah, I'm telling you that now. It sucks that we got a tight end from the University of Florida with Kyle Pitts, but we got to deal with it. I'm always gonna hate the Florida Gators. I was born out the womb hating the Gators. You know that. So getting back to it, he's a hell of a tight end, by the way. I'm not gonna sit here and just hate on him like that. But but when it comes to Georgia, Florida, it's always that dog, baby. But the infamous run Lindsey run play, Nat Hudson seals off. Matter of fact, Wilbur Marshall, NFL linebacker, he seals him off in the back of the end zone. You had a hell of a block on that play, and you got to. What was that experience like on the field? And you feel in the old Jacksonville Gator Bowl, when you saw Lindsey running down the sideline and the crowd just erupted in 1980. Everybody always sees that play, but you can actually describe exactly what that moment felt like.
I had honestly heard before I even played one snap in Georgia about the Georgia-Florida game in Florida. I'd actually heard about it. And when I heard it's the biggest outdoor cocktail party, that's what I remember. It's the biggest outdoor cocktail party. I don't know if you ever heard that. Heard that?
I've experienced it, so I know exactly what you're talking about.
I had never experienced before, but I heard about it and never experienced. Now I'm still a freshman. They had Wayne Pace, the quarterback, white boy that Charlie Pell was coaching. I remember because he was at Clemson. He recruited me. I'm just taking it. I'm taking all this in as a freshman. Man, when they opened those doors for us to come out before the game to stretch, when they opened the doors when we came out, the wind sucked all the air into the tunnel. Man, I almost got a buzz off the air that came through the tunnel because it was alcohol. It was smelling like it was that obvious. It was alcohol. That's when I realized why they called it the biggest outdoor cocktail party. And I still didn't grasp it. Wilbur Marshall was a freshman, and they had some good players. And Wayne Peace is the one I remember, the quarterback, because he got a lot of publicity.
And you had Chris Collinsworth on that wide receiver. He was a senior that year.
Yeah, arrogant little. I ain't gonna say arrogant little ML. He was arrogant.
He's still like that on TV now when he calls football games.
Man, I tell you, he was that arrogant. It offended me. Man, I'm telling you, he looked like a mouse, really a mouse, but he got a mouth. And he was talking shit. He was talking trash to everybody, man. He was. I'm just enjoying the moment being there because Notre Dame. I don't know if you remember now, and people don't talk about this moment. Notre Dame was playing Georgia Tech in Atlanta that same Saturday, if you remember. Yep. They were undefeated. Notre Dame was. Mm-hmm. They were undefeated, but Georgia Tech beat them. And we heard it on the intercom as we was playing before the Lindsey pass. I ain't gonna lie. That was the 11th week. That was the 11th week of the season. We was playing the Gators, the Florida Gators in the Gator Bowl. Georgia Tech was playing Notre Dame, and they were undefeated in Atlanta, Georgia. Look at the history. On the intercom, they was talking about Notre Dame ahead. They was giving us updates on the intercom in the Gator Bowl because they was undefeated. Notre Dame was, and we were too. And when we heard Notre Dame, Georgia Tech went ahead and beat Notre Dame. We were still playing before the Lindsey pass. That's when we knew, man. That's when we heard that Notre Dame was losing. Georgia Tech beat them. The 11th game of the season, and we was losing. And right after that, about 2 minutes later, that's when that pass happened with Lindsey run. Mm-hmm. Man, if we'd have lost, we probably would have never won that national championship. Because Notre Dame, being who they are, would have still been ranked higher because of their status. You know what I mean? Man, that was so magical. And when I listened to what's his name?
Larry Munson.
Man, when I listen to Larry Munson to this day, call that play, man. I ain't gonna lie. It'll never leave my memory. It'll never leave my soul, man. Because hearing Larry Munson call that play, and I'm watching it. And I tell you, Georgia Tech beat Notre Dame that day before Lindsey even caught that pass. And everything that you mentioned about Ned Hudson with that block, I saw it. Ned Hudson peeled back and made a block, and because Buck was scrambling for his life, he was in the end zone. The DB that was covering Lindsey had you're a DB. He had a 15-yard end route. Lindsey did deep. Yep. He went in on his end route. Buck was not in a position to throw the pass, and Lindsey curled back out, and Buck was scrambling, and that's when he hit him when he was curling back out. I swear to God, That's what happened. And Lindsay, hey, everybody knows Lindsay was fast. Shit, Lindsay, even plus when you think about Lindsay being fast, when he's scared, he runs even faster. I ain't gonna lie, that's the truth.
Yeah.
Watching that place, man, and being in that stadium, seeing that stadium, man, and you can't hear yourself think.
Well, you know what? What we're gonna do? We're gonna take you back to that play, and we're gonna go ahead and show it to our viewers. We never get tired of this play, so here you go. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Back third down to 8. In trouble. Gonna throw on her to the 25, to the 30.
Yeah,
Lindsay's
yeah.
got 35, 40. Lindsay's got 45, 50, 45, 40. 1, Lindsay, 25, 20, 50, 10, 5, Lindsay.
Woo! I got chill bump, bro.
Woo!
So for us Dawg fans here that are definitely there, I had to take you back to one of the greatest moments because you've been a part of some of the best moments in football, period. And when you look at it, you know, you had that, and then you had the drive in 1986-87. I would, you know, because you were in Denver at the time, you know, you found out I was born a few days before your playoff game. So it's the craziest thing when you look at it because you've been a part of some of the greatest memories in football, college and pro. And that's always going to be historic.
And I'm in a position now to share something that it's just not being a part of a moment. It's about how you felt when you was in that moment. You follow what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Every man and woman have a relationship with getting married and everything, but it's how you felt when you was in those moments as a man or present in the moment. I was a freshman, man. I was learning. See, I was learning as a freshman. Everything that happened, I wasn't expecting. I got excited, but the moment didn't really hit me until years later. The moment as a freshman that I was involved in because I was a freshman. Everything was new, exciting. That's what it is to be a freshman. But I was a part of something bigger than me. And that's when I started realizing my sophomore year that this thing is bigger than me. Herschel Walker running like nobody else is running, and this dude is everybody's happy. As a young man, I'm gonna tell you, I enjoyed the moments on both sides, on the field and off the field. And off the field, there were so many brothers on that team. I mean brothers. There was so many brothers on that team in my class. Hell, it was Terry Hogue and there wasn't that many white guys in my class. Honestly, we was loaded, black from top to bottom. I mean, we were, but we bonded, and that's what I remember. We bonded. We hung out after every game in the rooms, and we did what we shouldn't do, but we bonded. That's what's so special when I think about Melvin Simmons, Freddie Gilbert, Winford Hood, Gary Cantrell.
Can we take you back to one of your first memories because you just mentioned Herschel Walker? I want to, you know, I'm a share a Herschel Walker memory you know very well, and I also got to share your Denver memory or whatnot. I'm gonna let my guys ask you some questions because you know we definitely a little pressed for time, but we're good with that. But I want to show these stuff, and I'm gonna let my guys ask some questions. But we have something for you going back to when you said Herschel was running wild before this national championship game, and I want to go ahead and put that out there for you so everybody can actually see it. So we're gonna go ahead and play the infamous play of Mr. Herschel Walker. Fair use, fair use, fair use.
Was it the one in the Sugar Bowl?
Nope. This is one that you might remember right here, where the magic started.
Tennessee. He ran over Bill Bates.
10, 12, he's running over people. Oh, you Herschel Walker. My God almighty, he ran right through 2 men. Herschel
And there's
ran
number
right over 2
84 in the
men. They
screen
had him
making a
all
block.
the way inside the 9. Herschel Walker went 16
Right there at the
yards. He
top.
drove right over Warren Schultz, just driving and running with those big strides. My God, a freshman.
I'm sorry, Brent. I had to show that, but see, Kyle Pitts, I want you to take notes because if you saw, Clarence K actually put that linebacker out and opened the hole for Mr. Herschel Walker. So Kyle Pitts, please take notes of that. That is a legendary block right there that led to a championship, sir. So I want to know, yeah, I'm throwing shots like that, but you know.
No. Now let me take you inside of that moment personally. Now I wasn't the starting tight end that night. Norris Brown was. If you remember Norris Brown.
Yep.
Now I wasn't expecting to play that game. I wasn't. Herschel didn't start. If you remember, it was not Jimmy Womack. His name was Dunny something, and Connie Norris. They ended up starting that game. That was the first game of the season, correct?
Yes, sir.
Herschel wasn't starting. Connie Norris and I'm trying to think. His name was Dunny something. Running back. They the ones started. We wasn't moving the ball. Now we in Tennessee, Johnny Majors and everybody, and 82,000. I'm still a freshman now. I'm telling you, I wasn't starting. I was over there looking around. I wasn't expecting to play. I'm looking around and I'm captivated by being in the stadium and I'm just captivated. All of a sudden, I heard Coach Whittemore, the tight end coach, said, "Clarence, you got to get in there." I'm like, "Well, Coach, what happened to Norris?" He said he got dinged. I said, "Dinged?" I'm looking over at Norris. I'm thinking, "Nigga, you got to get back in the game." That's what I was thinking. They put me in, man. I started before Herschel. I swear that was the first game of our freshman year. I started. The run that you just saw came after Norris got dinged. I went in. And the thing that I remember, man, they had a linebacker. He was number 55, man. And he was dark. Veins was popping out of his body. I was intimidated. He just snatched me up like I was a nobody. I couldn't move him because I wasn't prepared. But I'm in the game now. I'm just trying to, keep him out deflected. And then that's when they put Herschel in. I'll never forget. That's when they put Herschel in. And that's when he made that run. And I'll never forget it. It was Bill Bates. He was like All-American and everything. He ran over him like he was not even there. But he really didn't because Bill Bates was out of position trying to tackle Herschel. He was. But that was a moment that I remember because I wasn't ready to go in the game. I mean, I wasn't even prepared. I hadn't studied or nothing, and I was a freshman. They don't start freshmen in college, is what I knew.
Well, we got something else for you. I'm getting ready to show one more clip of you and your college days before we get to your Bronco days, and then we're gonna talk a little bit. I'm gonna let my guy Cam ask a couple of questions, and my guy K Dub. Any question you want to ask him, K Dub, before I play this next clip? I'm gonna mute this real quick so you guys can do that. Give me 1 second.
A lot of feedback, but I'm trying to ask one question. I'm just trying to figure out after your freshman season, like going to the other seasons you played at Georgia. Was it the same exclamation point like your freshman season, or is it was just an emotional high from winning that first championship at Georgia?
When I realized what we had did my freshman year, and we had 3 more years, is what I'm trying to say. We freshmen. We just won a national championship. Man, the next year is when I realized we got 3 more years, and we can repeat as long as we got that nucleus together. I'm telling you the truth. We got 3 more years after 1980. Man, because the freshman class was the foundation of the national. I swear, the first Herschel Walker. freshmen. A lot of freshmen playing special team. We were freshmen, but we was exposed to something, and we got 3 more years. We don't want to. You win a national championship your freshman year, and you got the nucleus of everything. Because I don't know if y'all know this, the senior class that year with Kirk Warner and Ned Hudson, it was only like 17 seniors on that team.
Your camera's
17.
upside down. We can't see you.
Huh?
Your camera's upside
What's
down.
that?
We couldn't see you. There you go.
There was only like 17 seniors on that team because something happened, with scholarship. I think Georgia got caught illegal recruiting, and it could only give a few. That's why there was only 17 seniors, because they lost in the Sugar Bowl to Penn State when Ray Goff was the quarterback. There was only 17 seniors on that team, but they had good leadership, is what I remember. But we had more guys on that team, in our class, that had 3 more: Herschel, Freddie Gilbert, Terry Holm, Charlie Dean, Gary Can. I could name them. Man, we was excited knowing we had 3 more years. And we did, because we went and played Pittsburgh the next year with Dan Marino and got beat. But we went back our 3rd year and lost to Penn State at 12 and 0 and 12-0. If Herschel hadn't done what he did, we could have won another national championship. If you remember, if Herschel hadn't signed that contract with Donald Trump, we would have won another national championship, because we almost did it 2 years in a row. I remember that because we had 30-something guys in our class, and most of us was black. I mean, I don't say that racially, but we was black, and we bonded. We hung out with each other. We were together. And Georgia wasn't really ready for that kind of movement. I mean, Georgia wasn't. There was some racism, I'm gonna tell you. But winning makes everybody happy. That's what I found out. When you're winning, everybody's happy. Man, we got so many things that other class of people that went to Georgia, athletes, didn't get. Oh, Dominic Wilkins, he was down there, if you remember, at the time, playing basketball. Dominic, Terry Fair, Eric Marbury, Vern Fleming. Man, they went to the Final Four. Man, we was happy down in Georgia as black men, because we was doing it. We were doing it at Georgia. I swear they was giving everybody anything they wanted: cars, money, tickets, whatever. It was keeping us happy the whole time we was down there, Georgia.
So what I'm going to do for you, because you were talking about doing it, I got a clip for everybody to see it. This is you in your prime when you were with the Georgia Bulldogs right before we play the Denver Broncos. So here you go.
Fashioner coming off to the left side, looking, dumps it over, it's complete to the 35, he broke the tackle. Clarence K, 45, 50, 45, 40, 35, 40, down the sideline, 20, and it shoved him out of bounds in the 22. Clarence K broke the tackle, got 30 more yards. Shoved out down around the 22 and a half. Last player hit the tight end. Dawg's trying to go.
So that was actually one of your clips or whatnot from your college days. That was your senior. That was actually your 2nd year. So he stepped out. I do apologize, ladies and gentlemen. I guess he lost his signal, but yeah, that was the legendary Dawg, Clarence K. I do apologize. We went a little over. He had some technical difficulties a little earlier. We definitely appreciate you guys who stuck around tonight, talked to us tonight. We definitely look forward to next week's show. I do apologize again for the technical difficulties. We will have a better show for you guys next week. Hopefully you enjoyed this treat. Like I said, I apologize again for everything else. So we're definitely going to get at you guys next week. You either get right or you get left. Shout out to Coach Cam, William Avery, K-Dub, and John, the Cricket Preacher. We definitely appreciate you guys. We love you, and we'll see you next week. And you guys be blessed. Peace.